Shashi, in today's episode of In Conversation with Tibettv, we have the coordinator of India Tibet Coordination Office based in New Delhi under the Bureau of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. ITCO has recently started a campaign in Sikkim and North Bengal as part of its efforts to strengthen and revitalize Tibet's support in these regions. To tell us more about the campaign and their work in general, I'm pleased to have Mr. Thupten Rinzin joining us from Delhi. Welcome to our program, Thupten.
Thank you, Pandila.
I want to start by asking, can you please give us a brief background of the formation of ITCO and their work so far?
Yeah, thank you, Pandila. So our office is called India Tibet Coordination Office. And I think a lot of people doesn't really know about our office and the kind of work that we do. So our office was set up and formed in 2002 in New Delhi after it was relocated and renamed from India Dex, which was previously based in Dharamsala. So the main the mission or the work that we do is to create awareness about the Tibetan issues and Tibet among the among the Indian brothers and sisters, particularly among Indian youth. And one of the main work that we do is to work and coordinate the activities, the plan and the programs and the initiative of the Tibet Support Group. And we also work with core group for Tibetan cause. And just to give you a brief intro about the core group for Tibetan cause, CTTC, as we call it, it is the apex body or the coordination body that includes representatives from major Tibet support groups and also Tibet supporters. So the CGTC meets like twice in a year and to plan and strategize and coordinate the activities and plan and programs of the Tibet support group. And apart from that, like we also make publications in Hindi language and regional languages.
Okay. With ITCO, you have other Indian support group, Tibet support group. So can you tell us more about that and who are they?
Yeah, so I mean, in India, we have a lot of major like Tibet support groups and smaller Tibet support groups also. And the major Tibet support groups, they maintain their presence at the national level, at the regional level, and also at the local level. And we have Bharat Tibetan Sayog Manch, which recently celebrated its 25th founding anniversary, May this year in Dharamsala, in the esteemed presence of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And we also have other Tibet support groups like Indo-Tibet Friendship Society, ITF as we call it, and Bharat Tibetan Sangh, Bharat Tibetan Samvat Manch, Bharat Tibetan Samanvay Sangh, and Himalayan Committee for Action on Tibet, and various other major and smaller Tibet support groups in India.
Okay, and how does ITCO create awareness about Tibet in India over the years? And do you think the awareness program is really helping to spread or to create awareness on Tibet issue as far as you see?
Yeah, absolutely. Like as I mentioned before, our office, one of the main primary work is to create awareness about Tibetan issues by holding seminars, discussions, conferences with like-minded individuals and institutions. For instance, like just last week, we collaborated with Global Jindal University in Sonipat, where we organized a conference titled Understanding Tibet in 21st Century. And also after that, we partnered with Center for Himalayan Studies, Ship Nadar University based in Greater Noida, and we organized a seminar titled Tibet Beyond Foreign Policy. So like these conferences and seminars, we create awareness among the Indian population, particularly young college-going students who study diplomacy, foreign policy, international relations, political science, and related field. So these seminars and conferences are very important. For example, like just to give you a perspective, like in the past, right after we lost our country and when we came to India, we had a lot of late prominent Indian leaders like MC Chakla, Jayaprakash Narayan, Ram Manohar Lohia, Lal Bahadur Shastri, George Fernandez, and many other prominent Indian leaders who unfortunately no longer live with us. So during their lifetime, they actively supported Tibetan cause, and it is very important for the Tibetans and our office to create awareness about Tibetan issues, particularly among the young college-going students, so that we have more young Indian leaders who champion the Tibetan cause. And additionally, we also collaborate with Tibet support groups to create awareness about Tibetan issues at the local level, town, villages, and cities, where we talk about the ancient old India-Tibet relations. We talk about the border disputes that has resulted as a result of the illegal occupation of Tibet by the Chinese Communist government. And we also talk about the Mansarovar Lake, where previously, historically, Indian pilgrims from India enjoyed an unhindered access to Tibet when Tibet was an independent country. And we also talk about the ecological destruction of of Tibet that is taking place in our country, and its implication and repercussion that India, particularly the northeast states of Assam and Arunachal, they face. And these awareness programs, these are very crucial, and because first of all, they help us present the relevance and importance of Tibet, particularly for India. And we also we also tell our Indian brothers and sisters that resolution of the Indo-China issues is strongly tied to the resolution of Tibet's Tibetan issue. So we say securing India's interests is completely dependent about protecting and placing Tibet's interests at the forefront. So these are very important, and apart from that, keeping and engaging the Indian brothers and sisters and having a constant and continued discussion and discourse about Tibet, it really helps us to fortify and solidify Tibet support group and Tibet support base in India, so that government also reevaluates its policy for Tibet.
So ITCO has recently taken a tour of North Bengal and Sikkim along with the Indian support group that you just mentioned. So what were the purpose of reaching out to these places now in the last month?
Yeah, so last month we went to Siliguri, that's in West Bengal, and we also went to Darjeeling, Kalimpong, and Gangtok. So these places are very, very important because of its proximity to Tibet, and also the kind of relationship that we have shared with them historically. And Siliguri being Siliguri Corridor, or Chicken Neck as it is called. So this place holds very strategic importance in terms of its geographic locations. And I was accompanied by three others. Sri Soumyadip Dattaji, who is a regional convener for the core group for Tibetan cause, and he's also the convener of the group called Free Tibet, a voice from Assam. They are very active in Assam, creating awareness about the Brahmaputra, Yalung Tsangpo Siang programs, the kind of the dam that Chinese government are building and constructing in Tibet. And I was also joined by Mr. Surendra Kumarji, who is the vice president of the Indo-Tibet Friendship Society, and who is also the national co-convener of the core group for Tibetan cause. And I was also joined by Mr. Tenzin Jordan, who currently works with me as the deputy coordinator in our office. And the purpose of the visit that we had was to set up the Tibet support group in the places where there was no Tibet support group. For example, in Darjeeling, we formed and we set up a Tibet support group in a Darjeeling chapter of Indo-Tibetan Friendship Society. Because there wasn't any Tibet support group before we went there. And another main purpose of the visit was to strengthen and to revitalize the Tibet support group. In Salugara, we have Himalayan Committee for Action on Tibet, we call it HIMCAT. And we also have Indo-Tibetan Friendship Society in Kalimpong, and Bharat Tipat Sayog Manch, Bharat Tipat Sang in Gangtok. So So where we where we supervise the election of the new committee members who will be taking up the Tibetan cause in the future. And what we did during this tour was we talked with the members of the Tibet support group. We organized a meeting with them and talked about the ancient old India-Tibet relations and the border disputes. We also shed light on the current situation in Tibet, including the heavy surveillance system that the Chinese government is implementing in Tibet. We also talked about the DNA collection that Chinese government is undertaking in Tibet. We also talked about the series of self-immolation that has happened over the past few years in Tibet and other critical matters pertaining to Tibet. And this kind of visit really helps our office to understand the kind of challenges these Tibet support groups face when they implement initiated programs and plans at the local level. And this really helps our office to provide more coordination support in the future. So that was the overall overview of the visit that we had last month.
Okay, and before signing off with this discussion, since we have a limited time, supposing if I were an Indian national, then how do you think I can support Tibet cause?
Yeah, Padula, that's a really good question. And I mean, if you're an Indian and if you really want to advocate and get involved with the Tibetan freedom movement, you can set up a Tibet support group where there is no Tibet support group in the places where you live. And you can also join the existing Tibet support groups. You can also write articles about Tibet and post a message of solidarity on social media. And also, you can also request and appeal to your MLA, MPs, and governments to support and take up the Tibetan issues and to urge the government to push for the negotiation between the representative of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the People's Republic of China. You can also contact our office to know more about how you can get involved with the Tibetan freedom movement.
Well, I have one more additional question. So can you also talk a little bit briefly about the upcoming projects of ITCO?
So one of the main program the areas that I'm looking forward is since I joined this office 2 months ago is to set up Tibet support groups in the places where there is no Tibet support group, and another is to strengthen the existing Tibet support groups to figure out what kind of more additional support they need at the ground level. And also, we had a Tibet Support Group conference last year in New Delhi, and we passed a series of resolution or action plans. So just to follow up on the action plans and to organize a regional Tibet Support Group conferences to follow up on those action plans. So these are the main important areas that I would like to focus, apart from creating awareness through, like as I mentioned before, collaborating with or partnering with the colleges and universities and taking up our narratives, Tibetan narratives into these colleges and universities. Yeah.
Okay. So Thupten, these are my questions, and thank you so much for giving us your time today for this wonderful conversation. Thank you again.
Thank you, Bandala. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we have come to the end of today's program, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next episode.